Let's go.
It's your back, it dey keep passing. It dey bring out the best in me. I dey feel your recipe. Make you give me that recipe. Fine, fine. Yeah, you fine. You so divine. I dey feel you die.
What's happening, people? We got a new episode of Awesome Entertainment. It's your host, Joel Awesome. We talking down Wrecking Crew, okay? Jason Momoa, Dave Bautista got together, did a little, I guess you call it a buddy cop movie. Only one of them was a cop, the other guy's a military dude. But spoiler alert, we're gonna spoil alert. I'm just getting the spoiler alert. I'm not gonna try to, do that whole thing. It's out on Amazon. Just check it out. I thought the movie was cool. It wasn't horrible. It had its pros and cons, but it was overall cool. I give it a 6.8. I think it's still, I don't know why I compare everything to Captain America. I think it's about right there. Nice mid-movie. It's the best parts of the movie are the action. The worst parts of the movie are the jokes. And I think I've said it a bunch of times, we're suffering from the Marvel comedy, era where it's just over too much comedy, way too many dick jokes for me. I'm just like, bro, come on. It wasn't like they said it once and they kept going. Like, no, bro, they dragged it on. And then after that, they're going to keep going on with the dick jokes. It was crazy. But stuff like that, it's just not funny after a certain point. It really wasn't funny in the beginning. It wasn't funny as you continue to do it. But everything else was aight. The relationship between the brothers was cool and it was understandable. I really feel like the joke just take you out of it. I don't understand what's with this new era of, movies and television where it's like, it's gotta be a comedy at the same time. They don't make no damn real comedies. Either way, Momoa is basically playing Aquaman like he was before. And Bautista, at least he's not playing Drax, but he wanted to take on more serious roles. I know, this was a step in the right direction, but it wasn't a big step. You know what I mean? It wasn't a big step. He was cool. It's more like a John Wick style. The fighting and the action is a little bit over the top. One dude just beating the shit out of like 20. And I think they really, they could probably do a franchise with it. They could probably build on it. It didn't really seem like it was set up for them to do it. But I think, I really think I would have liked it more if it was more serious tone. And I just want to like Jason Momoa, his most, I want to say his most popular character, because Aquaman, that made $1 billion, but he's known as Khal Drogo from Game of Thrones. And that dude was serious as hell. Like, ain't no jokes with Khal Drogos, man. Like, so I was like, why does all his roles gotta be, goofy? Even though he's pretty good at delivering the lines and stuff, I think y'all need to get some real comedians in it. Let's get back to the old action films where it's blow him up. The dude's a badass and, you know what I'm saying, he don't joke or laugh or nothing. You know what I mean? Straight face. But either way, I thought the movie was cool. It wouldn't say it was worth watching, but it wasn't worth not watching. If you watched it, I don't think you'll be mad at it. If you missed it, trust me, you didn't miss anything. But the action was cool. The storyline was, it really wasn't a storyline. Hey, we were looking for these guys. Somehow they conveniently find everything and they blow it up. I liked the girlfriend. What's her name? Morena Baccarin or something like that. The girl in Deadpool. She was cool. She held it down. And I like Bautista's character probably more than I like Momoa's character. But I'm going to jump into a review. John Campion did his review. I have no clue how he feels about it. But let's see if...
most movies that go straight to streaming are normally crap, especially on Netflix. Like, 95% of all Netflix original films are total garbage. But once in a while,
95%.
They put out a good one. And The Rip. The Rip came out with Matt Damon, Ben Affleck. Fantastic.
Joe Carnahan coming back.
Definitely better than Wrecking Crew.
Totally should have been in theaters.
So
honestly, the Rip, I won't say they did the same thing, but it's really about the two main guys, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. This one's about the two main guys. They're obviously the brothers in this one, but the Rip went way harder, less jokes. It was like we're locked in on what we're doing, and it had less. The action wasn't as over the top as Wrecking Crew, which makes it a little bit more believable, even though they did get like sprayed at and just kept talking like they didn't just get, you know, the whole building shot at by a bunch of automated weapons. But the Rip was better.
Yeah, I like that shirt, Rob.
That's a good shirt. Then we found out, we saw trailers for The Wrecking Crew that was coming to Amazon. And we thought, the trailers look good. Dave Bautista, Jason Momoa, Miranda Baccarin, I've frozen her name for later. Jacob Bartolome.
They're like me.
Girl from the
Oh yeah, Jacob, the dude from Spider-Man was in it. Ned, and he cussing this shit, which is kind of funny, but I don't know. I guess he's supposed to be the fat funny guy. He was funnier in Spider-Man. That's just
Expanse. Then it was killing me through the movie. Who is she? What is she? And I'm like, she's from the Expanse. That was great. You got Jason Momoa's dad from Aquaman in it. Boba Fett was in there. All that kind of stuff. But the problem was they were dumping it straight to streaming.
It was a good catch.
Which I said was a red flag, even though the trailers looked good.
It was a good catch.
So watched Wrecking Crew this weekend. Damn fun movie, man. It was a hoot. Damn fun movie. A crowd-pleasing movie. A movie I, again, totally wish I had the opportunity to watch in movie theaters. Like, because they're...
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna swerve in the corner on them. Okay, I'm gonna disagree with that. I don't want to see that shit in theaters. It wasn't that good, but it was cool for sitting at the house, eating some snacks, bullshitting with your time, falling asleep, waking up, finish the end in the morning. That's what it's for. Theaters, nah, I don't want to say all that.
Theatrical
I wouldn't say all that.
In this movie,
in the action, there were some theatrical moments in the action, but I'll give you that.
The use of a cheese grater. Like, I was in my living room with 5 friends and family watching it, and all of us were like, as that scene.
The cheese grater was nothing. When they were in the car and he had Buddy by the arm, he ripped it. I was like, I wouldn't expect all that. You ripping arms off?
And I just wish I was in a full movie theater.
To get the reaction.
To get that, be part of that, right? The violence in this movie
is violent.
Way over the top.
The violence is
over the top violence. The chemistry, I was telling Jonathan this before we started the show. The chemistry between Dave Bautista and Jason Momoa was surprisingly on point. Like, really great chemistry between them. Miranda Baccarin. She was just awesome. Jacob Bartolome was great. Again, I like the villains. I mean, it does.
This is what I was also saying. The villains could have did more fleshing out and show us more of their story or who they are. The villains were kind of thrown in towards the end. Like, we didn't know who they were, and they kind of just threw some guys in. We were supposed to hate them, but I don't know why. I feel like they could have. That was a missed opportunity, because you could have created a villain that, people will remember, and that would have helped.
It's very much like an 80s style buddy cop action film, but it also repeats some of the mistakes of 80s style action films. Like, the woman he bumps into just happens to be this very important character. And I won't say what happens exactly, but you guys who watch my show know that my number one most hated movie trope is meet me at death's peak at midnight.
What?
Like that whole thing, I talk about all the time. No, I can't tell you the key answer over the phone. It's too dangerous here. Meet me at death peak at midnight tomorrow night. And then you instantly know, that character's dead.
They use that in Paradise, right? Too.
They did. They, like, so many TV shows and movies, like,
drove me nuts.
No, I can't go into it here. Meet me at such and such a place. Yeah. And then you automatically know, that character's dead. That character's totally going to die before they meet up. And they use that, and I hated that they used that.
Yeah,
but that aside,
you got to throw them off.
This was a funny,
it was fun,
thrilling,
wasn't that funny,
gory,
very gory,
violent
Very violent.
blast of an action film. And I really wish Amazon had put this in theaters.
Save
and
your
Rob,
money,
you told me
Amazon.
beforehand, and I'll just echo it now. I want to see a sequel. I don't even.
I kind of agree with him. I think you could have did a franchise. I think you can run it off. I think you can spin it off. If they're gonna do a sequel, I would like you to kind of tighten in that comedy, make it more serious. Give him a different, I won't say a different personality, but give him a different, era in his life where he's not just joking and stuff the whole time. But nah, Amazon, save your money. Do not put that shit in theaters. That shit would have made $200 million. Y'all would have been scrambling to get your money back. Nah, don't do that.
Care what the story's about. I just want to see Dave Bautista and Jason Momoa as odd couple half brothers hanging out, and I would watch them just hang out for 2 hours. And I'm totally in. I had a great time watching. Rob, what did you think about Wrecking Crew?
Look, I loved movies like this in the 80s. And if you think about them, everything from 48 Hours to Tango and Cash. Tango and Cash, you had Stallone and Kurt Russell paired up in
I'm gonna have to put
a
those
movie
on my
together.
list.
You know,
I'm gonna have to put those
and the
on my
movie
list.
wasn't great.
No, it was chemistry.
But it was the chemistry of these characters. And you're looking at this film. I thought this movie was actually way better than Tango and Cash as a film. But that's the thing. These were studio staples. You'd go to the theater, you'd see one or two of these kind of movies a year.
Yeah.
And the great thing about them is you can spend a ton of money on them depending on how big the action is. I mean, the Bad Boys movies are essentially that. Or you can make them for less money and still get away with it. One of my favorite, it actually doesn't have two guys in it, but
The Bad Boys movie is a great example. Great example. Good job, Rob. Great. The only difference is Martin Lawrence is a fucking comedian. And Will Smith is, I don't know I think he did comedy. I think he did a little bit of comedy, but he's acted, rapped, and everything. And like, these are actual people we know are funny at all times, right? I feel like Bautista and Momoa can act funny, like if you give them the lines and shit, but them dudes, them bad boys, the dudes from Bad Boys, that's a whole
Brian
different type of
Bosworth's
funny.
Stone Cold, which is coming out from Kino Lorber.
Now, obviously, the action and the violence, I believe more on the Bautista Momoa side. So, and whenever they got into the action and the violence, it felt more believable as a movie. It felt, like, ooh, I want to keep watching this. But when they get to the jokes, it's like,
incredible action movie with a great performance by Lance Henriksen. It allows actors, and these two guys were clearly having a blast. And then you can get people like Marina Baccarin, and you can get all those. You populate the film with really cool character actors, and that's what's fun. You get the violence, you get the action, you get the machismo, the characterizations. There's no downside to this, and I'll tell you, John, you're absolutely right. When you see somebody get smashed in the face or the cheese grater scene, these films are designed to be experienced in a theater with an audience where you can all root and holler together.
You're right.
It's kind of like when you're
Right.
watching this. I watch this in my bedroom with my dog.
When we hear that boy, that cheese, I said, ooh. But when they ripped off, I said, ooh. I thought, I don't know what I think was going to happen to that man standing up against the wall. They ripped his arm off. I was like, oh, this is a whole different type of movie.
And I'm just sitting there watching this going, if there was somebody here that I could bounce off of, I was thoroughly enjoying myself, and it was just felt lonely. I would love to have seen this in a theater full of people, like Send Help in 4DX, which I saw this weekend.
Send Help was so good. I didn't have a theater reaction to that movie. I had a blast with that
It was a blast. I'd never seen a 4DX movie either, and whoever designed the 4DX experience was on point.
Guys, we want to take a second and thank the sponsor of today's episode, Prize Picks. Well, the big game is almost here, and there's no better, fortunately, straight to streaming.
I mean, from what I get, I need to go see Send Help. I'm going to go check that out. But I liked it. I thought it was cool. I thought the movie was cool. Wrecking Crew, they did their thing. I don't think I liked it as much as those two liked it. But the action I fucked with. You know what I'm saying? They took time You know, it wasn't like I'm watching. You know how sometimes you watch an action scene, especially with like some of the superhero stuff. It's just something I've seen over and over again, like some of the same fighting moves, some of the same situations. These ones were unique. I'll give them that. And the parts where they were similar, they kind of, you know, where you think they were going to go right, they went left with it. But it's all about the action. And their chemistry was great. I think their chemistry was great. I wish they were more serious and more, you know, Momoa wasn't serious until like the very end, and he started crying about his mama. But like that shit should have happened from the beginning. You know, I would rather see this scary ass, big ass motherfucker just scary and angry the whole time. I don't want to see this big scary ass dude cracking jokes. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that he can't do it. I'm just saying like it's not the best. You know what I mean? Either way, the movie was cool. If you at home, watch it. If they put it in the theater, save your fucking money. Hit like, hit share, hit subscribe. I'm out.
Don't play with my patience, man, they gone with the flow when they tryna fake it. That's not the way I roll, that's not the combination. You start off with the dough before you start the conversation. No one start the salutations, man, don't play with me. I'm coming from a place they would hate to be. I'm going through a phase you would hate to see. They say this life's a trip, ain't no telling where it's taking me. When you on the edge and you make your next move, better be your best. Before you throw it to the depths, better reinvest. Man, I count every moment and count every step, so I know I'm blessed. Now it's